As the Arvind Mayaram saga continues, I wanted to update you on what has actually been registered in the FIR that was dated Jan 10th, 2023. And I've had a chance to look at the FIR. Thankfully, it was only 9 pages long, so it actually helped me to go through the entire document. But remember that this thing is now being done by the Modi government, and the article appeared on PGurus on January 13th, 2019, almost 4 years to the date. It took 4 years for CBI to file the FIR on this. What did they need to do? If you go back, and I urge you to read the 2019 article, which the link of which I am going to give you in the description section, and you will understand that practically everything that I'm going to detail today in the FIR was already captured in the 2019 article. Why did it take 4 years? I mean, I can understand if the FIR reveals more data. It was not. It was something pretty straightforward, black and white. And still it took them so long. So let's take a quick look at what exactly was in the FIR. Who else has been named in the FIR? Or has the CBI left the door open to name more people? So we will take a look at all of that now. Here we go. The FIR details against Arvind Mayaram. I would also urge you to take a look at my discussion with Sanjay Dikshit of Jaipur Dialogues that took place yesterday. And in that, Sanjay actually told me, or told the audience, that he worked for Arvind Mayaram and he thought Arvind Mayaram was a very efficient and honest officer. So much for that. I mean, I'm just going to give you, what was discussed there, but I did talk a lot about the exact crime, how this was played, and what are the possibilities. How can one explain what has happened? All that I have made an attempt to explain there. So I don't want to repeat that stuff here. I'll put the link to that also in this description section. So feel free to look at that also. Here we go. Arvind Mayaram, Rajasthan cadre officer, 1978, and finally got caught in the 𝗥𝗲𝗬𝗏 scam. So let's just kind of walk through the scam itself. I hope you're able to read this thing. And if you are not, please let me know. We can, here, I've made it even more clearer. I've taken away our logo so you can see the thing more clearly. 𝗥𝗲𝗬𝗏 supplied the timeline from 2004 to 2015, 2005 maybe by the time they started supplying paper, it might have been 2005, but the agreement was signed in 2004. The agreement was signed in sometime around middle of 2004, it could be even August, and the important thing here is when they were doing these discussions, 2002 onwards, 𝗥𝗲𝗬𝗏 has been telling the Indian government that we have a special security threat that is going to be used only for India. I'm going to show you what I mean when they said what they had. Let's just give you 1 second. I have in my hand a 500 rupee note, and if you look at it, you can see the security threat right about here. This is the security threat that's going right down. You see this thread, and what 𝗥𝗲𝗬𝗏 claimed was that this particular thread went under a machine, special machine. On one side, that thread will appear blue in color, and when I turn it around, the same thing would appear orange in color. They said that this is special technology that 𝗥𝗲𝗬𝗏 has developed, for which they had a patent. They said that they had a patent. This is where the lie starts. 𝗥𝗲𝗬𝗏 said that they had a patent. In fact, they did not get the patent up until 2011. So that is big lie, a big lie. But how did the Indian government not catch? Turns out in 2004, an RBI committee under P.K. Biswas was instituted to check the veracity, the technical qualification of 𝗥𝗲𝗬𝗏. And this committee overlooked to check the patent. I don't know if a banker knows what the importance of a patent is. A patent, for those of you who don't know, is a worldwide right to the inventor and an acknowledgement that this is the person who figured this out first in the entire world. It doesn't matter which place you come from. It doesn't even matter what kind of education you have. If you got a patent from a country, that means you are acknowledged, recognized as the first person to conceive that idea. So 𝗥𝗲𝗬𝗏 had this fancy technology, and they said that they can give this thing exclusively for India. That was their USP, unique selling proposition. Now, in 2006-2007 time period, both RBI and SPMCIL, of which Arvind Mayaram was a managing director, told Arvind Mayaram that the patent has not been issued to 𝗤𝙗𝗲𝗏 yet completely swept under the carpet. It was ignored. In 2012, the contract to supply paper was continued again under Arvind Mayaram. And remember that in 2012, P. Chidambaram came back as the finance minister, replacing Pranab, who had been kicked up as the president of India. I can only say that way because Pranab was really in the way, trying to prevent some of these excesses from happening. Okay, so what is happening on the CBI timeline? Where did all this thing begin? Well, in 2017, there was a PGurus article explaining the lies of P. Chidambaram and his coterie of IAS officers, IRS, IFS, whatever you want to call it. I mean, IXS, Administrative Services, right? People in that, I have the article here, and I'm going to name some of the things that came in the 2017 article. That included Arvind Mayaram, KP Krishnan, Raghuram Rajan, Shaktikanta Das, CB Bhave, Ramesh Abhishek, Ashok Chawla, DK Mittal, Arvind Modi, UK Sinha, Sindhushri Khullar, Amitabh Verma, TS Vijayan, Vinod Rai, who went on to become the CAG, as well as Raid Raja KV Chowdhury. This guy was a CVC, Chief Vigilance Commissioner. And don't laugh when I say when he became the CVC under the Modi government. I mean, I'm amazed. Just amazed at how Modi keeps appointing all these Chidambaram minions to various departments, knowing fully well. I mean, if even a person of reasonable understanding of English can read PGurus articles. In fact, many of them are also translated in Hindi. There's a Hindi website of PGurus called hindi.pgurus.com. You can read many of our articles in Hindi also. Not know that most of the guys that he has around him are tainted. Anyway, so this was the article that came in 2017. To be more specific, in 2019, we published an article here. I'm going to again go back to small mode so you can read the thing better. PGurus described the scam of 𝗤𝙗𝗏, how SPMCIL was formed without the recommendation of the ACC, without informing them. I mean, this is not the only time that Mr. Chidambaram has done this sleight of hand. Even in 𝗤𝙗𝗲𝐻𝗃𝗃, he took a lot of decisions without going through the CCEA, Cabinet Committee for Economic Affairs, where if there is any kind of investment exceeding 500 crores rupees, that you are required to get the approval from CCA. In the case of 𝗤𝙗𝗃𝗃, he did not get that. In fact, he has even said that in an official submission to court. That article link also I've got in this description, where he says that it was my officials who did it. I mean, I'm doing this routinely. I don't know which approval was done. I mean, a lie. The guy is getting a huge kickback from 𝗤𝙗𝗃𝗃, and he says that he didn't know that he was approving them without going through CCA. A dumb kind of admission. The person is not dumb. He's an evil genius. I've told this thing many times. Anyway, so in finally, the 2019, the article appeared. If anyone had some sense, look, you can read that article. In fact, the article screams it endangers national security. I have pictures of Arvind Mayaram and Ashok Chawla, and of course, Mr. Chidambaram. Okay, so 4 years it takes before the CBI gets off of its rather white butt, and finally they register a complaint, an FIR. Okay, and in the FIR, who are named? Well, first of all, the FIR says that it was an attempt at criminal conspiracy, cheating, and abuse of official position. Abuse of official position. Now, the FIR is filed on the 10th of January. On 12th, they raided Arvind Mayaram's house, and then you might have seen my hangout with Delhi Rajagopalan, where he has added more details of what was found and what was revealed and so on and so forth. So you have an idea about that. More importantly, let's get back to what is happening here in Today, what is going on? What is going to happen next? Well, it is my conjecture that these two are completely involved, and these two are the ones who are essentially moving all the pieces around. Mr. K.P. Krishnan continues to be in service of the government of India, and I can't understand why this government cannot find somebody more able. Many of these corrupt people continue to get extensions and just hang around. What happened to the famed Indian Administrative Services? Isn't it backing up? Many of the other talent can't rise up in ranks unless you throw some of these old coots out. I'm talking even about P.K. Mishra, the guy who's the closest Babu to Modi. What is it that he has that others can't do? I don't know. I would like the ministry, I guess Modi never says anything. I'd like them to say, what is it that, ye sab kya karishma karte hain aapke liye? Anyway, this is just my curiosity point. I don't know. And I wish I wish somebody could set me right. Oh, no. These people have years of wisdom. Their ears are much bigger than anybody else's. They know this, that nobody else. Yeah, I can accept that if somebody can give me an explanation, but nothing is going to come. Anyway, this is all I have for you today. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.